Hello everyone and welcome to Study IQ English. I am Joycey Joy. In this video, we will be discussing about poverty estimation in India. We will see how is poverty estimated in India and what are the different methodologies used in estimating poverty in India. Let's get started. In India, most commonly used method to estimate poverty is through the measurement of income and consumption levels. That is, by measuring the income of individual or households and through measuring consumption, that is the level of consumption. These are the most common methods of estimating poverty. A person is considered poor if he or she or his or her income level falls below a minimum level that fails to meet his or her basic needs. Now see, a person is considered to be poor if that person doesn't have the income or if the person doesn't have the means to meet his or her basic needs. That is poverty in India, and this is how poverty is estimated in India. And now, what is this minimum needs or this basic needs? This minimum level is known as the poverty line. So this minimum level which is required to meet the essential expenses or the essential expenditure of a person is called as poverty line. When the income or consumption of an individual or the household, if he or she belongs to, fall below minimum level, then they are designed to be or designated to be BPL or below poverty line. Suppose if the income or the consumption, suppose if the income of a person or the consumption of a person falls below the minimum required level or below the minimum level, then they are designated as or they are called as BPL, that is below poverty line. The poverty line calculation is now carried out by Niti Aayog, which means that earlier the estimation of poverty line or estimation of poverty was earlier done by Planning Commission. Now it has been entrusted with the Niti Aayog, which is the policy think tank of the government of India, to calculate the poverty line in the country. Now Planning Commission, earlier Planning Commission used to establish expert committees in order to draw the poverty line. So earlier it was done by the Planning Commission through expert committees. Now it has been done by the Niti Aayog, which is the policy think tank of the government of India. Now, why is it important to identify the poor in India? Why identification of poverty or people who live below the poverty line is important? Why is identification important? Now, first one, to measure the impact of welfare schemes. We know government carries out various welfare schemes. Now, the purpose of this welfare schemes is the betterment of poor people in the country. To measure the impact of these welfare schemes, which means that to measure whether the welfare schemes have helped the poor people or not, to measure the impact of welfare schemes. It is important to estimate poverty as it helps you track the impact and the success of various government schemes that have been introduced to eliminate poverty. So, to measure or to estimate the impact of welfare schemes. Second one, it's a part of poverty elimination of plan. So, it's a part of poverty elimination. That is to eradicate poverty or to eliminate poverty. We know Sustainable Development Goal and the earlier Millennium Development Goal, all these aimed at eliminating or eradicating poverty. So, next one is to understand or to eliminate poverty. The poverty estimates are used to formulate new plans that will ensure the elimination of poverty from the society. Third, it's a constitutional requirement. Why? Because Constitution promises a just and equitable society, elimination of poverty. All these things are guaranteed by the Constitution, or all these are necessary. If you see Article 21 of the Constitution, which is a fundamental right, Article 21 is a fundamental right which says that right to life and personal liberty is a fundamental right of an individual. Right to life and personal liberty is a fundamental right of an individual. So, according to this article, Article 21, here personal liberty and life, Supreme Court as the custodian and the guardian of the Constitution, Supreme Court has given wider interpretations for this article, especially for Article 21. There are wide interpretations given by the Supreme Court. According to the Supreme Court, here right to life does not mean mere existence. Sorry. Here, right to life does not mean mere existence, but it also means a life with dignity. Now, that's why it is said that the Constitution promises every individual to have a life with dignity, to live a life of dignity and self-respect. Next one, data collection methods for poverty estimation. So we have uniform reference period, or the uniform resource period, or mixed reference period. These are the two different types of data collection methods for poverty estimation. So this is depending upon how frequently data is collected, or what is the frequency of data collection. First one is URP, which is uniform resource period or uniform reference period. From 1993 to 94, the poverty line was based on uniform resource period, which involved asking people about their consumption expenditure across a period of over 30 days, that is 1 month. The consumption expenditure of different individuals, different households for a reference period of 1 month was taken under the uniform resource period. Next is mixed reference period, MRP. This is adopted from 2000 onwards. The NSSO relied on MRP method, and this measured consumption of 5 low frequency items over a period of 30 days. So for 5 items, the data was collected over a period of 30 days. These 5 items are clothing, durables, education, institutional health expenditure, etc. So these are the 5 items for which data has been collected for a period of 30 days. Next is V.M. Dandekar and N. Rath committee. We will come to different committees. Based on the data from National Sample Survey data, V.M. Dandekar and N. Rath made a systematic assessment of poverty in 1971. This was in 1971. While the previous estimations had stressed on subsistence living or basic minimum needs, Dandekar and Rath suggested poverty lines criteria must be based on expenditure that would provide 2,250 calories per day both in rural and urban areas. So earlier poverty line estimation, they all depended on or suggested for calculating the poverty line based on the income or the subsistence, but this was based on calories, that is the income or the expenditure spent by a household on minimum calorie requirement. Second is Allah committee in 1979. The task force constituted by Planning Commission under the direction of Y.K. Allah constructed a poverty line for rural and urban area on the basis of nutritional requirements and related consumption expenditure. The estimates in the ensuing years would be adjusted taking into account the price level for inflation. Next is Lakdawala committee, which was in 1993, which is a very popular committee of poverty estimation. It was based on the assumption that the basket used to calculate CPI on industrial workers and CPI on agricultural laborers reflected the consumption pattern of the poor. That is, there are different consumer price indices. There are different groups under CPI. One is agricultural labor, which is used for estimation of inflation in rural area, and industrial workers. Industrial workers is used for estimation of poverty in urban area. So Lakdawala committee found out that the CPI based levels, that is the consumer price index based levels, reflected the consumption pattern of the poor. It reflected the pattern of consumption of poor people. Expert group on estimation of proportion and number of poor, chaired by Professor D.T. Lakdawala, was the chairman of this committee. The committee submitted its report in 1993 and recommended poverty line approach can be continued based on calorie consumption, that is fixed consumption basket. So these were the recommendations of the committee. Poverty line approach can be continued based on calorie consumption. That is, poverty line, the standard can be fixed on expenditure on calorie or expenditure on minimum nutrition requirements. Second, State-specific poverty lines should be constructed, and these should be updated using the CPI industrial workers in urban areas and CPI agricultural laborers in rural areas. So, this poverty line should be updated using the data from CPI, Consumer Price Index inflation, on agricultural laborers as well as industrial workers. Scaling of poverty estimates should not be based on national account statistics. The expert group recommended by the NSS data should be relied upon. Indian government accepted Lakdawala Committee recommendations with minor modifications in 1997. Recommendations were given in 1993. Next is Tendulkar Committee, chaired by Dr. Suresh Tendulkar. The committee gave the following recommendations. A shift away from calorie consumption based poverty estimation. We know until then, till the Lakdawala Committee, the poverty line was based on calorie consumption. A uniform poverty line basket across rural and urban India, because the calorie consumption requirements were different in rural and urban area according to the Lakdawala Committee. But the Tendulkar Committee recommended that it should be uniform across the rural and urban area. A change in price adjustment procedure to correct spatial and temporal issues with price adjustment. There should be a change in the price adjustment procedure. Why? To correct spatial and temporal issues with price adjustment. Incorporation of private expenditure on health and education while estimating the poverty. And this committee used mixed reference period as opposed to universal reference period. Till then, uniform reference period, that is URP, was used, but this committee onwards, a mixed reference period was used. Using this method, the committee arrived at a conclusion that poverty line was at 446.68 per capita per month in rural area and 570.80 per capita per month in urban area. Next is in 2012, Rangarajan Committee. C. Rangarajan Committee gave its recommendations. This was a new panel appointed by Planning Commission. It provided an alternate method to identify poverty level, examine divergences between consumption data provided by NSSO and national account aggregates, review of international poverty estimation methods, recommend how these methods can be linked to eligibility for various poverty estimation schemes. So these were all the objectives of this committee, objectives of C. Rangarajan Committee. Committee gave its report in 2014. The report dismissed the Tendulkar Committee estimation of poverty level in India. The report said that was much higher in 2011-12 at 29.5% of population, which means that 3 out of 10 people in India were poor. This is a very important finding of Rangarajan Committee, that 3 out of 10 people in India are poor or lives in poverty. So these are the different committees appointed by the Planning Commission earlier. Now Niti Aayog is entrusted with the responsibility of estimating poverty in India. That's it about poverty estimation in India. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the very best.